Hello, once again Arun with our present chapter, The Best Christmas Present in the World, written by Michael Morpurgo. So I hope that you are eagerly waiting to know what is the ending of the chapter, because some of the students from your class just asked me by sending messages and that what is going to happen in the story. We are eagerly waiting. So they just asked me. So like you, I am also eagerly waiting to know what is going to happen in the life of Connie Macpherson and Jing Macpherson, and also in the life of the writer Michael Morpurgo. So let's see. So let me recall within a few seconds what happened. Our writer Morpurgo got a rolled top old desk which is already destroyed, burned and damaged, and from that table he got a letter, an envelope, a letter written by Jim Macpherson, a soldier, a Briton soldier, a letter written to his beloved wife Connie Macpherson to share a beautiful Christmas day which happened, which celebrated when he was in a war field, when the war was going on between Britain and Germany. I hope remember. I think you remember these two words, Tommy and Fritz. Tommy means the name we can give to a Briton soldier, and here a soldier from Germany, actually a German soldier and a Briton soldier, Tommy and Fritz. So and on that Christmas day we saw a nice joining between these two armies, Britain and Germany, and Germans started showing a white flag and showing peace, and they just came and wished a happy Christmas, and our team also, Tommy's also joined together, and they celebrated the Christmas day very nicely. Do you remember? They drank together, they ate together, and they shared jokes and their personal things. Do you remember? Yes, I think. And one more thing, one important thing they made us, it's a football match. There was a football match between Tommy's and Fritz. And who won the match? Do you remember? Who won the match? Yes, German. The Fritz won the match. But it was a friendly match. And one important thing, one important sentence they shared each other, that so the best way to solve a problem between two countries is not a war but a football match. A safe, friendly football match is the best solution for all the problems between two countries, because if it is a football match, nobody lose their life, and no children will become orphan, and none of the ladies will become widows. Do you remember? At the end of our last class we saw at night from their trenches they were sharing carol songs, Christmas carol songs, isn't it? So these all incidents are there in the letter. So we are reading the letter actually. So please take page number 14 and let's see the ending of the letter. Page number 14, the end of the letter. So dear Connie, who is writing the letter? Remember, do you remember? Jing Macpherson to his wife Connie. So dear Connie, by Christmas time next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and a terrible memory. I know from all that happened today how much both armies long for peace. We shall be together again soon, I'm sure of it. So my dear Connie, the next Christmas, the next year, this war will be meaningless, because we both armies are always looking forward for what? Peace and a happy life. And the last line is really important. It should be there in your heart. Okay, what is the last line? The husband is writing to his wife, we shall be together again soon. My dear wife, we shall be together soon means we will join together. It means we will meet again. My dear wife, I'm eagerly waiting to see your face. I'm just fed up in this war field. I'm very much sure that we will meet again soon. It is a word of a soldier to his wife. In the present days, you might have seen a heartbreaking news that some of our soldiers lost their life. Indian soldiers lost their life while the war was going on. See, have you ever thought about their family? Each and every wives or their children, their father, mother, everybody might have waiting for them. They may wait for them. They will come. My son will come. My husband will come. My father will come. Everyone would waiting for them. But when they realize they lose their life and they cannot see their face even for last time alive, what a condition, what a pathetic condition it is. So here also the soldier, the Britain soldier Jim is writing his wife, my dear wife Connie, I am sure we will meet soon. And your loving Jim. The letter ends. What do you think, my dear children? Did they meet again? What happened to Jim? What happened to Connie? Did they meet again? Let's see. Anyway, he closed the letter. Who closed the letter, you know? Our writer, Morpurgo closed the letter. Finished. Letter is over. Then what will be the thoughts in his mind? Let's see. Page number 14, the next portion. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into the envelope. I kept awake all night. So what I did, you know, I just folded the letter. I closed it and I kept it back into the envelope, and I was awakened the whole night. I couldn't sleep that night. After reading this beautiful, lovely letter, he couldn't sleep that night. By morning, I knew what I had to do. By morning, I was sure what to do. If you were in the situation of this writer and you got a chance to read the letter, what will you do? Think for a second. If you were reading the letter, what would you do? Anyone will try to meet Connie or Jim. What do you think? Address is there, okay? Address is also there, already there in the envelope. So anyway, he was sure what he had to do. Let's see. I drove into Bridport, just a few miles away. So he decided to meet the lady Connie Macpherson to give back this letter, the lovable letter from her husband. So he started driving to where? Into Bridport, just a few miles away. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beaches was. Okay, so he saw a boy walking with his dog and he asked the boy, do you know this address? Which address it is? What Copper Beaches was? Copper Beaches means the address of Connie. And house number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out shell. Twist is going to happen. Somehow he found the address. Somehow he reached the house of Connie Macpherson, house number 12, but the house was not there. The house was not there. What was remaining, you know? Nothing but a burned out shell. Everything is burned in fire. The whole house is already burned in fire before long time. The roof gaping means gap. That's what, there were a lot of gaps in the roof, so it was gaping. Then the windows boarded up means covered with wooden boards, means everything is destroyed with fire. I knocked at the house next door, and I asked if anyone knew whereabouts of Mrs. Macpherson. So then I couldn't ask anything to the house because I told you there was no people living and the house is closed and burned and destroyed. So I went to the next door, next house, neighbor, and I knocked and I asked. One person was there and I asked the person, do you know anything about whom? Mrs. Macpherson. Mrs. Macpherson means who? Connie Macpherson. Oh yes, said the old man in his slippers, who was just standing with his slippers, and he said, of course I know that lady. He knew her well. happy. So we are going to meet the girl, meet the lady. Ready? I know a lovely old lady, he told me. She's a nice, lovely old lady, but a bit middle-headed. Middle-headed means what? Confused. Means little bit nuts. Little bit. Not much, but a little bit. But as her age, she was entitled to be. Wasn't she? In her age, everybody is like that. What? Little bit problems will be there. It is usual. In that age when it is too old. And 101 years old. How old she is? Now 101. She had been in the house when it caught fire. Again twist. I know the lady. She's a nice woman, a nice old lady who had 101 years old, but she was inside the house when the house burned. Okay, when it was burning in the fire, she was inside the house. Did she alive? What do you think? Or she died? Let's see. No one really knew how the fire had started, but it could well have been candles. Actually, we all have no idea how the fire started. Maybe because of candles. Candles. And let's see. She used to thought electricity was too expensive. Okay, so she used it to candles rather than electricity because it is always thought electricity was too expensive. So electricity is too expensive, so she didn't use electricity because of this electricity charge and all she may think. So she always used candles. From the candle fire, the whole home had burnt. She was in a nursing home now. Now where is she? She is alive. Oh my God. God saved. She isn't. Why? A line before, see, the fireman had got her out just in the time. Fireman, fire force, So when the house was burning, some fire force people came and saved her. Now she is in a nursing home. Nursing home means what, where the people who are orphaned and old aged, such peoples are living with medication and medicines and all. Such a nursing home, she is there. And Burlington House address, it is an address, Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of the town. So that man, that stranger showed the way to go to the nurse home. So who is going now? Our writer is going to meet the lady into the nursing home. Okay, page number 15. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. It was very easy for me to find, and there were paper chains up in the hallway, and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with the lopsided angels on top. Do you remember one thing? When our story starts, do you remember? Means when our writer gets the roll top desk on a Christmas Eve. Do you remember? So all the stories taking place on a Christmas days. So this was also a Christmas day. So when he get inside that nursing home, what was there? There were paper chains up in the hallway. Paper chains means some paper cutting decorations are there. Then a lighted Christmas tree also. A Christmas tree with lights stood in the corner with a lopsided angel. Lopsided angel. Angel means a picture of an angel. Kept lopsided. Lopsided means a little bit bent. Okay. So it is also there on the tree. So it means the nursing home is decorated to receive Christmas. Okay. I said it was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. So I went and meet the warden, the warden, and I saw that I want to meet whom? Mrs. Macpherson, because I have a Christmas present with me. I want to give her. What is that Christmas present? What is it? The letter from her beloved husband. Let's see. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. Aha. Can you imagine? When they were inside the nursing room, a lot of old people are there, orphan people are there. So everybody was wearing a paper hat, like a cone, a paper hat, everyone, to enjoy the Christmas. Simply they were using paper hats. And singing too, nice songs. The matron, who is matron? Matron means who is in charge of the nursing house. Okay, in charge. So let's see. The matron had a hat on too and seemed happy enough to see me. So the matron also, the in charge person also was having a hat and she was very happy to see me. Why? She even offered me a mince pie. Mince pie means a piece of food. It's a tasty food which they used to share when it is Christmas. So mince pie she offered to eat. She walked me along the corridor. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with others, she told me. So Mrs. Macpherson has a speciality and she is not staying with others. She is alone. She is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. And what? She has no family, no one visits. The present condition of Connie Macpherson is pathetic, my dears. Nobody is there in this world for her. Everyone died, passed away. Now she is an orphan. So where is her husband? Where is her husband? Passed away, killed, died in the war field itself. So she couldn't she couldn't see the face of her husband once again. And even she lost her house. So nobody is there, nothing is there for her in this world. She is an orphan. So I am sure she will be only too pleased. Pleased means happy to see you. So what he said, she will be very happy if she sees you because you are the one and only guest who is going to meet her. So I am sure she will be only too pleased to see you. She took me into the conservatory with wicker chairs. Wicker chairs means chairs made up of canes and potted in plants. Potted plants means plants are there in the pot, small pots, plants are there for decoration. And all around left me. So when I was sitting in the conservatory room, means the visitors room, what is happening? A lot of cane chairs are there, lot of pot plants are there. So I was waiting for seeing my heroine, the heroine of the story, Connie. Yes, in the next paragraph, she is coming. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. You can watch the picture below. An old lady sitting in the wheelchair, she cannot walk properly. What is the age? 101. She is sitting silently in the wheelchair. She had a silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun. Like a bun, it is folded. Means you can see in the picture how her hair is. Silver white means she is old. She was gazing out at the garden. She was simply looking out to the garden and said what? Hello, I said. For the first time I said her, hello, hello. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. Vacantly means empty. So she was just looking to the garden and he came and called her hello. She just looked at him empty. No expression on her face. Happy Christmas, Connie, I went on. So I started, means the writer started saying, Happy Christmas, Connie. I went on, means I continued. I found this, I think it's yours. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. So he took the letter and he showed her. I think this is yours. I came to give this to you. When I was talking her, she was just looking at my face without any expressions. Why? Now she has no expressions, no love, no sadness, no hatred, nothing, because a lonely life. She's alone. Then let's see what is the reaction of the lady when she gets the letter from her husband. Let's see. I opened the tin box and I gave it to her. I opened the box and gave the letter. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. I told you, when Connie saw the stranger, means our writer, there was no expression on her face. But when she got the letter, when she received the letter, there was a happiness lit up on her eyes, on her face. She recognized, she realized. I explained about the desk, about how I had found it, but I don't think she was listening. So actually I was telling all the stories, how I got the desk, and I was repairing, I got the letter, and I read about it, about your husband, a lot of things I was explaining, but she didn't listen to anything. For a while, next page, she said nothing, but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. She didn't tell anything, but she was stroked, means fondled, touched the letters with her shivering hands. Her emotion is filled with she is happy, she is sad, she is wondered, lot of emotions are there. So everything is coming together, speechless, nothing to say, but she was just fondling the letters with her shivering hands. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand, twist again. Actually they are strangers, but slowly she reached the writer and took his hand in her hand. Then her eyes were filled with tears. Her eyes were filled with tears. Happy, she is happy. You told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, she said. Actually they are strangers, but our old lady Connie misunderstood that who is standing in front of her husband. She misunderstood that who is standing in front of her, it is her husband again. He is back. So with the shivering words, she is too old, with a happy voice she said was, you told me you would come home by Christmas, dearest, she said, and here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. For me, for my life, this is the best Christmas present in the world. My dearest husband, you came for me, happy, satisfied. I don't want anything in this world. Happy, satisfied, she said. Come close, Jim dear. Sit down. My dear Jim, darling husband, please come to me. Sit down. Who said? Connie. Didn't understand anything. Actually, he felt like saying that, hey lady, I'm not your husband. But he couldn't tell by seeing the happy face of that lady. Actually, she already told you that she is too old and she was alone for long years and she loved her husband madly. So now she is in a dream that the person who is standing in front of me is my beloved husband. So that is why she is talking in such a manner. So let's see the last paragraph. I sat down beside her. The writer sat down beside her and she kissed my cheek. Because it is my husband. So with love, she kissed on his cheek. I read your letters so often, Jim. Every day, I wanted to hear your voice in my head. It always made me feel you were with me. And you know one thing, my dear husband, I read your letter often, means many times. Whenever I read, I could listen to your voice in my head. I could feel your love, I could feel your care, I could feel your presence. That much I loved you. Do you know that? Who said? Connie. So that letter was that much precious for me. So I used to read it always. And now now I'm happy, I'm satisfied because my husband is there in front of me. Now you are back, you can read it to me yourself. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? So my dear Jim, now you are alive in front of me. I would like to listen to your voice once again. Will you read this letter for me, please? I just want to hear your voice again. I would love that so much. I loved your voice so much. I loved your presence. I loved your care and love so much. So will you read this letter once again for me? She asked. And then perhaps we will have some tea. After that, let's have some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. Do you remember the word marzipan? His favorite, her husband's favorite cake it was. So I made some cake with marzipans for you. Everything is ready. So let us have it together. Actually, in real, nothing is there. No cakes, no drinks, nothing is there. But in her imagination, in her dream, she is that much happy. She is now living in the past. So the cake is ready. The drinks are ready. Let us enjoy this Christmas together, she said. I know how much you love marzipan. So my dear husband, I know how much you love the cake. Who said? The wife. So here the story ends. So now I think you may know it is the best title for the chapter, the best Christmas present in the world. What is the best Christmas present in the world? The letter, the visit of the writer, and the letter he brings is the best Christmas present for Connie Macpherson in this world. So how much it could make her happy, isn't it? See, in the beginning, in the first class, I have told you, the value of a gift is not upon its price. If it is that much costly, maybe it is valuable for you, you may feel it is valuable, but I'm sure not forever. But something is there in the world which cannot buy with money, which is more valuable than anything. Relations, love, care, support, friendship, a lot of things are there. So we should give enough importance and value for all those relations. Okay, so here the story ends. What you want to do is read the story 2 or 3 times nicely, and let us discuss about the question answers in the next class. And let me give you a small activity. Write a small paragraph about the favorite character you have in the story. Maybe it is Connie, maybe it is Jim, maybe Hans Wolf, maybe the writer, whoever it is. Select your favorite character, write a small paragraph about the character in your notebook, take a picture and send me through Google Classroom or WhatsApp. So that's all for today. Wishing a nice day and thank you very much. Bye.